you came upon this niching topic and you kind of kicked it off with this great general metaphor about fishing. Now, I'm not a big fisher person, one way or the other, but the metaphor made so much sense to me. I thought it might be a good way to kind of wrap the whole discussion up in words we could use throughout. So if you don't mind, why don't you lead off with that?
Well, yeah, it's a fun metaphor. We all think best when we can put a picture to something. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I'm not a big fisher person either. But I mean, all of us can relate to at least helping a child learn how to fish with a little Zebco rod and reel and putting a bobber on the end and a little worm on a hook and tossing it in the water. And typically, if you're trying to teach a child how to fish, there's so many little nuanced things to learn in fishing that one of the first things you want to do is take them to a fish hatchery, some kind of a stocked pond that a farmer maybe has in your area, or you go to the state fish hatchery or something, where pretty much if they can get the line into the water and the bobber's still floating there, something's going to nibble on the end of it, because what you're really trying to help them learn is just how to push the button and flip the rod without tossing it out of their hand, and get the line out there and watch the bobber. And when the bobber goes down, that means the fishy's nibbling, and you want to let him get a little bit of the worm in his mouth before you just yank on it, because you might jerk it out of his mouth, but don't let him pick on it so long that he actually eats the whole thing, and then you pull up an empty hook. So there's a lot of things to help a child learn in just basic fishing, or to carry the metaphor over to what we're talking about here, in basic marketing. But once a child gets the hang of fishing, normally, we don't just go to fish hatcheries. You pay a lot. You pay probably more than your fish are worth by the time you pay your fees to get into a fish hatchery. But once somebody gets excited about fishing, they might actually make a decision as an adult to say, I want to make my living. I want to provide for my family by fishing. Well, now at that point, when you've gone from, I enjoy fishing, fishing's kind of neat, it's a nice hobby, to I love fishing enough that I think I'd like to make it the way that I provide for my family, my primary source of income, you now have a whole new set of challenges before you. And one of the biggest is figuring out, okay, what kind of fishing? What kind of fish do you want to go after? Because the world is full of all different kinds of fishes, saltwater and freshwater, and some of them are found in still bodies of water like a pond or a lake. Others are in running water like streams and rivers. Some are going to be out in the ocean or surf casting and chartering boats. And there's all different places that we go, deep sea fishing and various ways that then we get before them. Well, all of the decisions that need to be made now when you've decided I want to make my living this way come down to identifying your desired catch, or, for today's topic, your niche. What kind of clientele are you trying to attract primarily through your marketing efforts?